So, fine, guys, let's start. From today, we are going to start discussion on ML, okay, machine learning. So, we will have intro regarding the machine learning, okay, class, and we'll try to understand, okay, from scratch, like what is machine learning. Fine. So, these words have become buzzwords from past few years. Okay, so earlier, like before at least I would say 10 years, okay, very few people know about machine learning and jobs about machine learning. But recently these got so much hype that even the colleges, right, better colleges also started courses. Okay, they have courses on AI, machine learning, etc. Okay, so why is that happening? Okay, what is that so special about machine learning? Fine. So we'll try to understand that. Before that, earlier we have software, right? So software is not new, so it's been like from so many years, like at least past 50, 60 years, or maybe the simple basic programming is there from past 100 years. Okay, but what is the difference between that software computing and machine learning? Okay, what specialities does machine learning have? Okay, that is important. So if you think about simple any machines, okay, so here there are two things, guys. Okay, so when we say machine learning, okay, so we already have so many machines. What are different types of machines? For example, washing machine. Agree? So we have already washing machine. Okay, just machines I'm saying. Okay, or let's say we have fridge. Okay, we have AC. Okay, we have heater, etc, etc. Okay, so there are already so many machines. But this is machine learning. That means here the machine is able to learn something. Okay. Right. So we'll try to understand slowly, step by step. Okay. So now what is the difference between these machines which are already doing some task and this new concept called as machine learning? Okay. So the difference between here is all these machines are designed to do a specific task. Okay. That means what? So you have so earlier, see, that's a evolution, right? So earlier everything was done manually by humans. Okay, it's like few hundred years back. Then slowly and slowly, when the technology started evolving, okay, and research started seeing more improvements and progress, so slowly scientists have came up with inventing new machines. Okay, like they have came up with washing machine or fridge, etc, etc. So what are these? All these are designed to do a specific task. Okay, what is the purpose of washing machine? It's a machine and it can do washing the clothes task. And in that there are, like, for example, three different some tasks. Okay, first it should wash, it should rinse, it should spin. Okay, it will do these three tasks. Okay, and its job is done. It is designed for only these things, these three things. You will have a motherboard inside the washing machine. Okay, you'll have a motherboard inside the washing machine, and you some software is already programmed. Okay, so it's already programmed with some software so that it will do only these specific tasks. Okay, fine. So that is fine. Washing machine doing separate task. After that, there is some other. So there is some other requirement. Okay, now what is the requirement? Let's say it's too hot. Okay, then they have invented fridge. Okay, so like that they have kept on writing programs, okay, or softwares. Fine. What is software? It's just a group of programs, right? So it's they have kept on inventing new softwares for every new requirement. Okay, Till here it's fine. So that's why we have a lot of machines, lot of devices, etc., etc. Okay, till here that's fine. But slowly, okay, scientists got an idea that why we should always make the machine learn. Okay, that means what? Why we should always tell the washing machine, okay, these are these are tasks. Can it be possible for it to learn by itself? Okay, can it be possible for it to learn by itself based upon the data, okay, and improve its performance? Okay, so that is the seed, okay, for machine learning. That means what? The idea is, can we have or can we create the ability for the machines to learn by themselves? Because for certain data we are training, we are getting a mission. If the data is changing, so again we should train the model. I mean, not the model, machine. Okay, because this machine cannot handle new data. Okay, so we, as the data keeps on changing, we cannot create new machines every time. Okay, so the idea is, can we create the ability for the machines to learn, okay, without we involving or writing programs each time? Okay, so that is one thing. So if you see here, if you see the definition, machine learning is a field of computer science that uses statistical techniques to give computer systems the ability to learn with the data without being explicitly programmed. Okay, what does it mean? It is saying machine learning, what happens is we are giving the ability for the computer system in the sense what? So in other words, we can call, we'll generate a model, okay, so which will have the ability to learn. But the main important point is this, we need to underline this, we don't need to always program it, explicitly being programmed. Okay, we don't need to do always programming. Okay, but we just need to create the ability. Okay, we are creating the ability for it to learn from the data. Okay, but here the question here is, all this is fine, but still the question is, what is machine learning? Now we are saying ability to learn. Okay, so but here the fundamental question we should have here is, what is, how can a machine learn something? Is machine a living being? No, right? If we are able to see, if washing machine is doing some work, that is because we have already programmed. Okay, so see, if I press this button, okay, take input, take water, fine. So after certain time, turn like for 50 rounds, okay, then stop turning and then rinse it, okay, and then take some input detergent and then wash it again and flow out the water, something, this type of programs, logic you can write, okay, and it will perform that, it will stop, that's all. So can we say that it has learned something? Fine, you guys following what I'm trying to say? So we have told something and it is doing. So can we say that washing machine has learned something? Now, can we put washing machine in the machine learning category? No. Fine. It is just doing the task what we have assigned it. Fine. Now, when we say this ability to learn something, so for example, if you download, if you open, if I open now on this laptop, if I open Google and if I download some Wikipedia page, fine. So now, does it mean that now it has all the required information, and does my system will become smarter suddenly? Can I say that it has learned something just by downloading? Because see, for humans, we have brain, right? So that is our storage system. Similarly, now let's say this computer is having some storage system and I am opening Wikipedia and I'm downloading certain data. Okay, I'm downloading a Wikipedia page. Now that Wikipedia page is present in its computer storage. Now, does that mean the machine has learned, this laptop has learned something and it is more smarter than before? Can I say that? No, obviously no, right? So now again, we need to think what exactly is the machine learning. Fine. So as of now, let's understand that it is we are creating some ability. How we are going to give that ability and how the machine is actually learning, right? See that the main curious thing we have as of now is how a non-living thing can learn. Okay, that is very interesting, right? So I think you should be curious, fine, because when we say learning, because learning is a very complex procedure. Agree? So when we are learning something, so in the childhood we learn a language. Okay, it's even though for humans it looks very simple, but it's a very difficult process. Okay, because there are so many things involved in simple learning or detecting objects. Fine, so you should understand the size and shape and the sound, okay, and the distance. All these different dimensions you should understand at the same time so that you can detect a object. Okay, so not understood, please explain once again. Sirisha, so I'm not going anywhere. I mean, Sirisha, it's still basics. Which particular line you did not understand? ML. Okay. We are just trying to understand the definition itself. Okay. So those the very difficult procedure of learning how a machine is going to do. Okay. So is it going to do the same way how humans are doing, or do we have something other procedure? Okay. So as of now, let's fix to this definition called as we are trying to give some ability for the machines to learn something, okay, without we need to program it every time. Okay, so how we are going to give that ability, that we are going to see. Okay, fine. So now going forward, and in other sense, if I define machine learning, so machine learning, what it does is, uh see guys, let me actually, let me, for this purpose, let me start my video. Okay, see over here in machine learning. Okay, is my face visible? Okay, let me switch on my face 1 second. Okay, so give me a second.
Others, can you please unmute yourself?
Sorry guys. So coming back to the machine learning, so in simple words, machine learning can also be defined as a system where it will try to learn the patterns from the given data. Okay, so whatever the data you give, so it will try to understand the pattern from that. Okay, and then when given a new data, okay, it will try to predict some output based upon its learning. Okay, in simple words, this is what machine learning do. Any algorithm you take, it does the same job. Okay, what does it do? So it will understand the pattern. Now, this understanding pattern can also be defined as its ability to learn the data. Getting, so how it can understand the pattern? Okay, so it is learning the pattern. So how it can learn? That is the reason where we get these algorithms. Okay, and these algorithms will be classified into different type of like categories in the machine learning. So which we are going to see. So for example, yesterday we have seen in the regression plot, we have seen what reg plot, right? Regression plot. So over there, I was trying to tell you, right? So it will generate a line, okay, which is uh, from minimum distance as much as possible from all the points. Agree? So that line, actually, the system is going to generate. Okay, the system is going to generate the line so that it will be at the minimum distance possible from all the given points. Fine. So, and that line is actually a model. Okay, so when we learn linear regression, so we'll understand that, but that line is actually a model. Fine. So it has learned something. So what it has learned? It has learned that this line should be at the as minimum distance from all the given points. So it has slowly started adjusting itself. Okay. So when you give data, immediately it will not generate that line. Okay. First, it will start with some random line and slowly it will learn the distances. Okay. It will compute the distances, and then after certain calculations, it is going to give us that particular line. Okay, like that, the algorithms will be the behind the scenes will be different from each and every other algorithm. For example, logistic regression, decision trees, etc., etc. Okay, so that is going to change. Okay, so fundamentally, you need to understand machine learning as something which can understand pattern from the given data. Okay, and it can predict some output given some input. Okay, so fine. Any doubts, guys? I know this is just intro, but still, if you have some very basic doubts or if you're curious about something, just feel free to ask. Or if the definition is not clear, anything is fine. Clear everything?
Yes. So basically, we are feeding data to the machines to learn new patterns and to perform differently.
No, that's partially correct. So see, we
I mean,
will
to work with a different kind of patterns of data.
no, not different patterns. Okay, see, you will give data, system will understand the pattern from that. Okay, so once a pattern is understood, okay, a model will be generated. Okay, now this model will understand only that pattern. Fine, so that is done. Okay, based upon the data which were given. So now if you give a new input, fine, based upon its learning, what all it has learned or what all pattern it has understood, from that learning it will give you output. Okay, but this is not the case with earlier machines. Earlier machines, they cannot see if whatever the input you give, whatever the input it is designed for, okay, it will work only for those inputs. If you change the input, it will not work. But over here, the machine, it is not input specific. Okay, only for learning it need input. Okay, and some output and that certain kind of training. Okay, once that is done, you give any input in the sense the same type of input, but any different values of the input based upon the training it has undergone, it is going to give you the output. Okay, that means what? So for example, I will give a simple example. Fine, so let's say you are into real estate business. Okay, and you want to uh, you are looking for some small model so which can predict the prices of your house. Okay, so now, okay, so over here my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, so over here, so in, for example, our aim is to predict the house prices, and what all you have, you will have number of bedrooms. Okay, and size of the house, square feet. Okay, okay, and for simplicity, I'm taking just location. Okay, and your facing of the house. Okay, and my output is house price. Fine. So now see, this is data. Now let's say you have 10K, 10,000 records of this data. That means each record is representing one house. Okay, row number one, you will have number of what is this, number of rooms, right? So yeah, number of rooms, let's say what is it, 5 rooms, okay, and like 300 square feet. Location, let's say Hyderabad, okay, and facing is east facing, okay, and the house is 70 lakhs, for example, okay. Like that, you have 10,000 rows. Agree? And this is my data. Now you have collected this data, okay, over a period of time, okay, from your experience or from your contacts, you are able to collect this data, okay. Now this is fine. Now based upon this data, okay, so you want to generate a small system so that given this input, okay, what are these input? Only this four are input, okay. Given this input, it should predict the price, okay. It should predict the price, okay, because for every new location, you don't need to, you don't want to manually calculate the price, okay. So because some other in Hyderabad location only, for example, you are having some just 2 bedrooms and some 150 square feet, okay, and it's, let's say, for example, north facing. So how much price I can quote, okay, if you want to like generate this value, so you don't so let's say your goal is you don't want to manually calculate, okay, you want a system to do that. Agree? So now to do this, fine. So what are we looking for? We are looking for a from prediction from our model. Okay, that means what? So we want to create a system, okay, so that which can learn from this data and give me predictions. Okay. Now machine learning can do that. So basically now in this case, what does machine learning do is, so you first of all, this whatever you are seeing, right? So this 150. So this is our test input. I mean, we want that to be given as an input to the model, okay, so or whatever the system we are generating, so that it will give you the output, okay. But before that, first of all, system should learn something, right? Before learning, I cannot predict, okay. So over here, what is happening is you are having 10,000 records, okay. So first of all, and each of these 10,000 records will have its 10,000 prices also. So this whole thing along with input and output also, okay, along with input and output also, you need to pass to the system, okay. Then the system will understand the pattern. How to understand? There is an algorithm for that. So there will now behind the scenes it will be completely max. Okay, so we are going to see that. Don't worry. Okay, but orally, if I tell you, so in simple words, you can understand it this way. So it will understand the pattern. Like, okay, if the number of rooms is increasing, the price is also increasing. Okay, so there is some positive correlation between these two columns. Okay, and if the square feet is increasing, price is also increasing. It's a positive correlation. And the facing is, for example, if it is a east face, the price is increasing, and south face, if it is decreasing, something like that. It will see the fluctuations between each input column and the output column, and it will try to understand the relation between each of this column and its effect on the output column, that is price. Okay, and it will store that pattern. Okay, once that is done, next, once a training, it's called training. Okay, so once that is done, then when you give only input, as I said, like 2 and 150, okay, and Hyderabad and some south face, okay, this time I'm not going to tell the price because the system is going to tell. Okay, now for these four, now let's say I've generated a model M. If I pass this as input, based upon the training it has got, it is going to give me the price. Let's say it has told me 45 lakhs. Okay. Now see here what we have done. We have passed both input and also output to the system. Okay. So this is very different from conventional programming. In conventional programming, what we do, guys, we just for input, we will say this will be the input and we will write certain program. Okay. And the output and the what will be the goal to generate some output. Agree? Agree? So washing machine, we'll say the input will be this, and we are writing certain program, and based upon that, it will generate some output. Okay. Output is our final goal. But here, surprisingly, if you see, we are giving both input and output, okay, to the system to learn. Okay. So that is the fundamental difference. Okay. So you're giving input also. All these 10,000 records, what are the input? These 4 records are input. And what is this? This is output. Okay. This is output. Price is output. We are passing all 10,000 records input and output to the system to learn. Okay, so once that is done, here the system will generate the logic for you. Okay, the system will tell you, a model will be generated. Okay, and the model will tell you if these are the inputs, this should be the output. Okay, so the pattern, or the, in simple words, the program that is required, that program or that pattern, we are not going to do by ourselves. The model is going to, just we need to pick and choose which type of model we want, and the model will do the heavy lifting, and it will give us the logic for us. Okay, so you see, even if you're not understanding few things, okay, that's completely fine, because this is just the intro class. So what all words we have seen, right? So we are going to see everything in detail. Okay, don't worry. Sirisha is asking, in ML, we will give existing data in form of data sets only, sir. What do you mean? Data sets, yeah. In ML, we are going to use only data sets, okay, in the Excel format. Fine. So, but if you see in some other forms of ML, that means, let's say if we talk about deep learning, okay, there you will not use CSV. So we will use images also. Okay. And coming to, we also have one more section called as NLP, okay, natural language processing. So there you can give in the form of text also. Okay, text also you can pass as an input. Okay, so but for ML, it will be mostly CSV files only. Okay, fine. Any doubts, guys? Are you guys following on track?
Yes, Santosh, no doubts.
Okay, so now with this basic idea, fine. See here, yeah. So observe here, in traditional programming, what's happening? You have the data, you have the program. Okay, that we will program it to the computer. Okay, and it will give the output. Simple programming. Okay, you have some requirement. Okay, you have programmed something. Okay, you will do some programming. Fine, and you got the output. See, even our computer, okay, even our computer is an example of this traditional programming. Okay, so computer is not a machine learning, right? So it is a simple device, so which will work based upon the user instructions. Okay, so and it is designed for only those type of instructions. Okay, that means what, when I for example, when I click this, it should happen that. Okay, see, initially, so before computers, so we have, what do we have? Basic computers, like or we have something called as for computing they use abacus sort of thing. Okay, so a simple programming, okay, a simple software which will perform only a specific task, that's it. Okay, so it cannot learn anything new. Fine, so even our computer also, can it learn anything new? No, it will not. It cannot learn anything new. Okay, so whatever it is designed for, okay, so whatever it is programmed for, it will do only those things. Okay, so but in the machine learning, what happens is, as we have seen just now, data along with output. Okay, so data is input and its output, both are clubbed and given to the system. Okay, the system will learn and system will generate the program. That's the difference. You getting? So here program, it will generate program. Okay, and using this program you can generate new outputs also. Okay, new output also, because if output is not generated, then what's the point? Okay, so what do I mean by this? So for example, over here in the housing examples, you will see. So I've given my input and given output. Okay, I passed to the model. So model is generated. This model is internally, it will have certain programs, some algorithm logic. Okay, so that is we got. Now using this program, you can generate new outputs based upon new inputs. Okay, whenever you are changing this input, this is output will be different. Okay, this is the fundamental difference which we have. What it is not working for only one specific type of input. Okay, coming to other type of machines, okay, so they are designed to work for only specific type of input. But here what it has done, it is not learning the input, it is learning the pattern. That is a difference we need to understand. Okay, a simple washing machine will understand just an input. Okay, only that input it will look for, and it will work only for that type of instructions. Okay, so it is not learning any pattern, but here it is not learning the input, guys. So that thing you should clearly understand. Okay, so this model, whatever it has done, okay, it is learning the pattern, because because if it is learning input, then it will work only for those input. Okay, so it will not work for this new input. For example, this 150 Hyderabad, yes, whatever you have, right? So let's say this type of record is not present anywhere in this 10,000 records. Okay, now let's say if machine learning is learning only input, that means it is learning only this 10,000 records. Then what is the point of it? Okay, because I'm not generating this model to work only for this 10,000 records. I already have this 10,000 records input. I don't want a new model. Okay, I'm generating this. Okay, I'm creating this so that it will work for any sort of inputs. Okay, that means what? I will give any value I want in these 4 columns. Okay, it should generate me the output. Getting any values, any combination sort of thing I'm going to give, it should generate the output. So to do that, the only option it has got is it should learn the pattern, not the input. Okay, so that's a fundamental difference. Okay, the pattern learning system, okay, so is the base of any machine learning model. Okay, so and this will actually speaking about that, so it is saying, so we are going to give the data, we are going to give the output, so the system will learn the pattern. Okay, so here the pattern learning will happen. Okay, once that is learned, and it is the program whatever it has generated, right? So that will be stored in a sort of model. Okay, using that model you can generate new inputs. Okay, so I'm hoping you are getting high level view. Okay, so we did not see any, we don't see types of ML, we do not see any model sort of thing, right? So we are just still at the level 1 only. Okay, so but I hope you have some high level overview. Okay, fine. So now coming to ML, fine. So coming to ML, so where can we use? Okay, so let me take a simple spam classifier example. Okay, so what is spam classifier? So see guys, here you will try to understand a difference between normal software programming and machine learning. Okay, but before that, any doubts, guys? Are we going good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt, Santosh.
Okay, see now this example, with this example you will understand the difference. See, focus here. Let's say my goal is to detect spams, guys. What is spam? You understand, right? All of you know spam. So like unwanted messages you get on mail, right? So spam emails. Okay, so and you don't want to have them. Okay, and you want to detect them, and then you'll take some action, whether you want to delete or you want to report or whatever, whether is whatever the action. Okay, but my goal is to detect it. Now let's say you are getting, and this is your Gmail. Okay, and you are getting spam emails. So you have seen few months and you got irritated, frustrated, and you want to detect this and stop this. Okay, now when you observe, so what you did, you opened your Gmail. Okay, and let's say you have 100 spam. Fine, so you observed this 100 spam, and then what you did, you have observed some pattern. Okay, see, machine learning and deep learning, so all this or AI, right? So it is designed based upon human mind. Okay, specifically deep learning. Okay, and some sort of machine learning. Okay, so they all are inspired from the human brain, how we human beings are, because human beings are the most common, the human mind is the most complex thing available in this whole universe. Okay, because we don't realize it, but the things which we do, right, are extremely complex for other beings to do. Okay, because that's the reason no other species on this planet can talk except human beings. Fine, so the memory which we have, the creativity, okay, all different types of things we do, the multitasking, right? So even what a small kid does, okay, a big, for example, animal cannot do. Okay, a 2 years kid, okay, can talk, okay, but even 50 years animal cannot do. So that is a difference, because the brain evolving, okay, is at a super high level when compared to all other species in human beings. Okay, the funny thing is we don't realize. Okay, because I will tell you simple thing. It took so many years, okay, to make a small model, okay, in deep learning to give it training and make it understand difference between cat and dog. Okay, in deep learning, okay, so there is a problem. It's called image classification. That means you classify the images, and the goal is just it will try to classify the given thing is whether a dog or cat. Okay, for that, it's a it's a very complex thing. Okay, it's actually very complex thing for the model to do that. Okay, so it requires high level programming. Okay, so you have deep learning models and storage and lot of data, etc., etc. But when you compare the same thing with humans, even I think a 1 year old baby or 2 year old baby can tell you the difference between cat and dog. Do you agree? Right? So that is how powerful the human brain is. Fine. So what a small 2 years baby can do, right? So without any effort, so okay, without we just we also does the same thing, right? We train the humans, babies, like, hey, this is cat says bow, okay, cat, no, dog says bow and cat says meow, okay, we train it, okay. And next time when it sees a dog, she will or he will, the baby will say, hey, this is dog, she will say in her own words. Fine. So and it is very simple for us to train babies, okay, but to do the same thing for machine, it is extremely difficult. Okay, so that is how powerful and the human brain is. Okay, and that is the reason all these systems got inspired. Okay, the fundamental idea in that whole deep learning, if you're not going to deep learning, but I'm just telling you that the fundamental idea deep learning is based upon the research of human mind. Okay, how it is able to understand, how it is able to do this multitasking. Okay, so how it is creating the connections. Fine. Fine. So it might, that's what I'm saying. So we don't realize, but it looks very simple, but it is very complex. Okay, see, when I'm doing this, so I'm doing many things at a time, right? So I am seeing, okay, and I am talking. Okay, if you are talking, I'm able to understand it, correlate with my question, fine, and then giving answer. Okay, and I'm looking at this, okay, and I'm thinking and I'm writing. So many things are happening at the same point of time. Agree? And it is very simple for us. I'm not putting any extra efforts. Okay, it is very, very simple for me or for any other human being. Okay, but the same thing, if you want to make a robot to do, okay, it will be very different. Fine. So just looking and detecting an object, okay, and to respond is a very, very big thing. Fine. So coming back. So let's say to the spam example, with this, with our we also have pattern recognition system, right? So we can easily detect patterns. Okay, so you have checked like 100 spam emails and you understood there is some pattern. Okay, so usually what type of patterns we have is in spam. So you will have congratulations word. I hope you know spam emails, right? Everybody knows spam. What is spam emails, right?
Yeah, Santosh.
Okay, so over there, what type of words you will usually see? Okay, so you will have congratulations. Agree? And what do we have? Help me, guys. What all words you will find in a spam email if you have seen? Mm, you have won,
Job for you.
huh?
Job for you.
Huh?
Like,
Something job for you. Then you will have offer. Okay, so these are the words which usually spam mails are contain. Okay, so you analyze this and you, let's say you are a programmer and you wrote a simple program, okay, to detect mails containing these words and some count you have seen, let's say congratulations repeating once and offer is repeating twice. So okay, you understood the pattern, you noted down everything and you have wrote a simple program, okay, software you have developed. So next time whenever a spam is arriving, so it will automatically detect and it will give you some trigger. Okay, till here it's fine. But it is working. Okay, and the software you have deployed and it is working. Okay, and everything happy, all happy. Now, what happened? The spam companies who send these mails, right? So they also understood, hey, this guy took some action and he's not getting spammed anymore. Okay, automatically all the spam emails are going into spam folder. Okay, that is fine. Now, what they will do? Obviously, they will change their techniques. Okay, so instead of saying offer, so now they will say, let's say discount. Okay, so earlier in all these 100 spam emails, there was no discount word. So that's why you did not include any logic in using discount. Okay, but now they stopped this offer and they started using discounts. Okay, or some other words like hurry up, hurry. Okay, very new words which are not present earlier. So obviously, will your system software which is already present, can it detect this one and classify them into and send them to spam mail?
No.
No, obviously, right? So now you will get spammed again. Agree? So again, you will start getting spam mails. So it's very easy for them to change every word into a new word. Fine. And then what happens? You will be spammed again. Fine. So your system software is failing. Now, this is a simple software programming. That means it is going to work for some specific task. If the input is changing, it fails. Agree? So here input is changed. In place of offer, you got discount, failed. In place of some other thing, you got hurry up, failed. But with the now coming to machine learning, fine. So it is smart. It is not going to study the input or learn the input. It is going to study the pattern. Okay, so you can't see it. So what it is happening? What's happening with this? So when you say congratulations, okay, when and what all you have like what do we have? Offer, etc., etc. Okay, so and let's say we are telling it as, and it should also have output. Okay, so now let's say we are saying it is spam. Okay, this is also spam. Okay, or for example, I have my name. Okay, and let's say this is not spam. Okay, so like that you will have 100 emails. Okay, and you should also pass which is spam, which is not spam. Okay, now it will learn the pattern. Okay, so how it is going to learn, that is out of the scope as of now, but it will learn the pattern. Okay, if these words are there, this is spam. These words are not there, this is not spam. Okay, and if there is a spam word, it is repeating this many number of times, and its position is this. Okay, etc., etc., it will learn some pattern. Once that is done, okay, there are high chances, even though a new input which is not present earlier, okay, fine, so it will be able to predict based upon the pattern that is also a spam. Okay, for example, earlier if you have discount, okay, discount, okay, it was spam. But after that, let's say they have changed it to offer, okay, still the system will be able to understand the pattern, it will predict it as spam. But your earlier simple softwareing system that cannot do this. Okay, because it is learning, because your software is learning the input, but machine learning is learning the pattern. Okay, what is the pattern of spamming, with what pattern they are spamming. Okay, so what is the repetition of words? Okay, or what are the new words they're using? Okay, etc., etc. Fine. So that is a fundamental difference. So every time the input is changing, you don't need to write a new programming. Okay, so that is what the definition is also saying. So you're creating the ability to learn with the data without being explicitly programmed. Okay, you don't need to every time come back and train it. Okay, so if it is completely changing, so that is a different matter. Okay, but if it is falling somewhere near this pattern, okay, it will understand. Okay, this is a spam and this is not a spam. Okay, Are you getting idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So that is one example regarding the spam classifier, and yeah, it can also detect the dog and cat. Okay, image classification, as I just mentioned, so it can perform dog versus cat. Okay, so and there are many applications. Okay, there are like uncountable applications in today's time. Fine, so to where all you can use. Okay, and data mining. Okay, data mining in the sense what? So data mining is, you can understand it this way. So for example, you have different columns. Okay, and based upon the columns, okay, as such, you will not be able to understand like which are the most important columns from it. Okay, but once a model is generated, okay, once a model is generated using these columns, okay, now the model can also predict. Fine, the model can also give you, just a second, what's here, extraction of useful information. Huh. Yes, Sirisha, extraction of useful information, data mining. Okay. Okay. But the internal meaning is, so once a model is generated, right? So this model can also tell you what columns are more important. Okay. So let's say you are having column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it will tell you, okay, which is the most important column from here. Okay. So let's say 5 or 2. It will give you the order also. Okay. Which is the most important column. Okay, so then you can take a call, so whether you want to use only top 3 columns or top 4 columns. Okay, so etc etc. Okay, the model can also tell you that. Okay, and sometimes it will, so it will also, you can also combine 2 or 3 columns. Okay, 2 or 3 columns and generate a new column. Okay, and for example, let's say you are having number of bedrooms, okay, and number of rooms. Okay, so why 2 columns? You can just say number of, combine these bedrooms into rooms, write a simple, use a simple apply function from pandas, and write and pass the input as one column to the model. Okay, so that all things you can do. And yeah, so this is important, why ML is becoming famous now. Okay, what changes it has happened. Okay, see, the data generation is huge. Okay, the 3 things: one is data generation, second thing is storage, and third thing is computation. Okay, so obviously, as I said, data is the most important thing, the fundamental, or oxygen, you can call anything. Okay, to for the model. Okay, for the machine learning. Okay, because over here, if you have, I'm saying 10,000 records. Okay, only if you have sufficient amount of data, it will if it will get a chance to learn the pattern. Okay, if you just give 10 records and if you ask for the predictions, it will give, but they will be absolutely inefficient. Okay, so you should have as much data as possible so that it will understand as much pattern as possible. Okay, so and now in last few years, data generation went into like peaks. Okay, so we have seen next level data generation. Okay, from one of the statistics, what all data generated from the starting of human beings. Okay, or from the starting of the storage. Okay, from first floppy disk or earlier, what all storage devices we have generated, right? And from that day till 2016 or 2015 December 31st, okay, how much data is generated? Same amount of data is generated in just 2016. Getting from start point, okay, till 2015. Okay, how much data is generated? That much amount of data is generated in only single 2016 year. See, that is the speed at which data is getting generated. Getting, so obviously you have more amount of data. Fine, so obviously that will be a huge step in the advancements of ML. Fine, next thing is storage. So storage is also, we have seen so many powerful storages. Okay, so earlier we used to have just small floppy disk, and next we have CD. Okay, next we have pen drives. Okay, next we have hard disk. That's fine. So now you have what, even your phone is having, even as of today, so our phone is having more powerful storage than what they have used in the system which they have sent to moon. Okay, so if you see, there's a funny fact that the system, okay, so which sent a rocket to the moon was having just few kbs of data. Okay, so it is, the system was having just few kbs of data. Okay, but even now, we now roam with powerful smartphones in our pocket. Okay, so it is having some phones, they also have gpus. Okay, that's the world which we are currently living on. Okay, the storage has also reached next level. Okay, and you have computations, powerful gpus. Fine, so powerful supercomputers we have, and we can perform complex computations in no time. Fine, so all this, okay, so all these have actually helped. Okay, so it's not that scientists did not got this idea, so did not get this idea earlier. Okay, there were discussions, okay, there were papers on this, but all these advancements which happened in recent years, like so much data is generating, guys. Okay, we can store the data, and we can, data is fine, but we're also able to do more complex computations and faster. So obviously, what more do you need, right? So you have data, you can process them at faster rate. Okay, and you can also store them. Okay, so that, and so much, and also based upon this, right, based upon this, many countries, okay, many countries started investing so much in the research and development for machine learning or AI. Okay, so mostly America, so they have spent like $billions. Okay, and obviously scientists will also get encouragement, right? So they will also get motivated. Okay, so for more research and development. Okay, GPU, what is GPU, sir? GPU is graphical processing unit. Okay, we have CPUs, right, Sirisha? In our computer you have CPU, central processing unit, right? So the more advanced systems are, the next to CPUs are GPU. Okay, graphical processing unit. Okay, so they are more faster, okay, and more advanced than CPU. Fine, and next you have TPUs also. Okay, after GPU you also TPUs also. Okay, still more advanced. Fine. So due to these conditions which we have, so we have seen the trend of ML. Okay, and many companies, okay, started using, and so why they started using, because obviously they are seeing more results, right? So if the company don't see profits, why they will use? Okay, so they started using ML, and because so many applications got, so many problem statements got created, and it is able to solve many problems. And finally, what is the salary and demand? Okay, if you're looking for this, so I would say we are obviously in the positive curve. Okay, that means what? So see, any system. Okay, so earlier when Java came into picture, right? So there was a great buzz. Okay, because very few people know Java, and there was a huge demand for Java. That means the demand is so much high. Okay, and supply is less. Okay, so obviously the craze and buzz will be super high. Fine. So over a period of time, slowly it will get neutralized. That means when the demand is more, and obviously the salaries will be more, and the motivation will be more, and more people will come into that field, and many people learn Java. And as of now, most of the people know Java. Okay, so then the supply will also increase. Then supply increases, demand will decrease. Okay, and the hype will also get neutralized. Okay, same thing is happening as of now with ML. Okay, so it has started recently, and we are lucky, I would say, because we are in this growing curve. Okay, it did not neutralize it. Okay, but obviously after a few years, fine, so it has started. Okay, but still there is so much scope, as I see. But in a few years, many people, hundreds of people or thousands of people will are entering into this field. Okay, but still it is compared to other fields, it is less. And but the one difference is more and more applications are getting created. Okay, more and more companies, startups are starting it. Okay, but that was not the case with the Java or earlier programs. Okay, because the reach of ML is very wide. Okay, you can apply it to any particular domain. Okay, and new applications can be created. Okay, and there are constant updates happening. Okay, so if you follow, almost every single day a new research paper is getting, or every single week a research paper is getting released. Okay, from top companies like Google, Amazon, etc., Facebook, etc. Okay, so as you can see, the recent chat GPT wave we have seen. Okay, and and like that LLM models, large language models. Okay, earlier to that we had some other bird models, etc. Okay, so for every few years, completely new thing, okay, which is revolutionizing the field is happening. Okay, so obviously there are going to be more and more opportunities. Okay, but if we see the previous trend, okay, so we can think that after a few years, we don't like after 15 or 20 years, so you will have enough number of, okay, data scientists or machine learning engineers. Okay, then the supply might also meet the requirement. Okay, so but as of now, as I said, we are lucky to be present and witness this positive curve. Okay, so after that it might become like this. Okay, but I hope it will not become like this. Okay, so because of the advancements and the research that's happening. Okay, but we are somewhere over here. Fine. So that's about the, and coming to salaries, obviously you will be paid very good salaries, guys. Okay, from my practical experience also, I can tell you that. Okay, so at least it will be better than the usual programming most of the cases. Okay, so what more we need? Okay, so we get good salaries. Okay, we get the opportunity to work on latest technologies. Agree? So and then we are actually working on something, right? So which will have a direct impact. Okay, so you can see the impact. Okay, because for example, the one thing which interests me is like, if you write a simple like normal Java particular code, right, it can also have impact, but I cannot visualize like what type of change it is actually happening. Okay, whatever I'm writing, but here in ML, okay, so we are working on a specific problem statement. Okay, so it's like you are directly seeing the output. Okay, you are able to predict the, let's say, weather conditions, or you are going to predict, or you are going to clearly classify this is a spam or this is not spam. Okay, so obviously it is saving some amount of time, effort from the user. Okay, or you are helping in the insurance domain. Okay, or you are helping in the banking domain. Okay, or in the stock market. Okay, agriculture. Okay, or doctor. Okay, or diabetes, etc., etc. Whole new layer of applications are available over there. Okay, and so you can see whatever the work you're doing, right? So you can clearly see how it is impacting. Okay, so what more you want, right? So you have salary. Okay, you have data, I mean you have the latest technologies. Okay, so you are going on par with the world. Okay, so the only thing that is required is nothing but the passion. Okay, and the curiosity and interest. Okay, to learn. Okay, so if you have that, okay, you will just enjoy the process, or else it is going to be difficult for you. Okay, so make sure, okay, so you have that ease to learn. Okay, and it comes from passion, guys, I would say. Okay, so fine. And going back, so that's regarding the intro, guys. Okay, so just understand the few definitions. Okay, what we have discussed, like the pattern, it is simply a pattern. Okay, understanding system. Okay, so pattern recognition system. Okay, so machine learning. Fine, so this is just the intro. Okay, fine. So from tomorrow or the next class, when we are going to have, right, so I may not be available tomorrow, guys. Okay, but I will let you know in the group. Fine, so from the next class we are going to see the technical concepts. Okay, what are the different types of ML? So like we have supervised, unsupervised, etc. So what are different types? Okay, and from there, so we'll be going more and more technical each day. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, that's all from my end. Any questions, doubts, concerns? Sirisha always unmutes herself, says something, and she will mute again. But I don't hear what she says. Okay, are you good?
Yeah, Santosh.
Okay, guys. Okay, chalo. What she's saying? Yes. Okay, cool. Fine, guys. That's all from my end. Okay, chalo. Thanks. Let's meet in next class.